If you're flipping cars on Facebook and OfferUp, this video is gonna show you how you can do that even better and faster and without all the manual effort using Snatchbots. Snatchbots is an automation tool that runs in your browser and mimics exactly what you would do in the same speed that you would do it. Okay, so that's why we have been using this for 3 years. We have car flippers, couch flippers, phone flippers, diabetes strip flippers. I don't know what kind of flippers using this bot, and in 3 years we have not had an account ban. Okay, sometimes we get rate limited. I actually have been suspended, just to address the elephant in the room. I've been suspended running the bot and at the same time copy pasting messages to different groups, getting rate limited, sharing to groups, messaging new users. Like I've really abused my account. But the first thing they do is they review your activity, and when your activity is humane, you are safe. Okay, so even though I sent messages selling my bot, if they would review my messages, I would have definitely be banned for life. They do not. Everything that we do looks human. It passes review in the case that you do it. However, just using the bot properly, I've never had a problem. The problems I had was when I was doing this with fake accounts that has no history. They go from 0 to 100 overnight. Yes, you get banned or you have to verify your account. You can't. But if you use an aged account that has used Marketplace before, all you do with our bot is you automate your manual actions. Okay, very important. I know there's bots out there that get people banned. I know there's a bad fame for bots. Our bot just does what you do. It does it a little bit better. It doesn't really do it faster. That's not the point of this bot. The bot is for you stopping to do manual outreach because it's tedious. You have to keep track of the people you message. You have to read their descriptions. You have to go through their user profiles. It's a hassle. It's a lot of work. It's a drag. Once you can automate it, you can actually focus on closing deals and growing your business. Okay, so let me show you. This is the log. I ran the bot just last hour. It got rate limited um, by scrolling down the inbox. See, we get a message, and then we automatically suspend the bot for tomorrow. It sent 18 messages in the last hour. I reset this bot a couple times because I'm texting people to sell my bot. I'm doing demos for clients, and now did the demo for this video, and I got 18 messages out. You can expect to send roughly 50 messages to qualified leads a day, and then obviously the point is to make sure those 50 messages are sent to different individuals that are your target audience and that are not, for example, car dealers, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's turn this off for now. It's gonna probably reload the page if I'm not mistaken, or not. So now, oh yeah, there we go. So now you can see we can search by keyword or by category. So keywords would be car or BMW or whatever. Category would be vehicles. Um, but for the cars, we actually want some more filters. So here, for example, I made a test. Year must be minimum 2010. I only want BMWs, and mileage should not exceed. Hey, where did the mileage go? Here, mileage should not exceed 100,000, and that's it. And you see that all these parameters actually go to the URL all the way up to here, the make, the minimum year, the maximum mileage, and the price. So what we do, um, we can just easily copy paste that from the URL, and then it will copy over all the supported parameters. Okay, so now I've here St. Petersburg. I put in the same zip code. I got that from Google Maps, so I just typed in the zip code, and then here in the URL you get the coordinates, or you right click anywhere on the map and you get the coordinates from where you right clicked. Um, then the radius, so I put the same radius as here, so I get similar results. And then loop search location, you can put multiple searches. Like here, if I would click again, it will come there again. So you can do multiple searches, and you can also do multiple coordinates. And then every time it finishes, it doesn't get any more listings, it will just loop. Okay. Now I say, well, I want the search to contain BMW in the title. So anything that doesn't have BMW in the title, skip it. But skip also the ones that have i3 or X1 in the title because I don't buy those cars. And then the next step would be if it passes all these parameters, it would actually open the listing and it would look for skip words in the description. So I would say down or financing because I know that the dealers put that in. I'm not really interested in cars listed less than 3 days ago because I know from the car industry that that can be a lot of spammers. Um, and also, I don't really need to be the first. Like I know camper van dealers that want to be the first, but I don't know a lot of car dealers that want to be first. Anyways, you can put this to 1, and the maximum here I put at 14. So it will pull listings until the listing age is 14 days, and then it will go to the next search and location. Then I can say owner keyword listing 1, max 2. So that means that when we open the description, we pass the description. Now we open the seller profile and we see how many listings they have for sale with our must contain keywords. So now we can see if this guy is selling 3 BMWs or 5 BMWs, it's probably a dealer. We can skip it. Okay. Um, and then the skip profiles created. So we look at their creation date, and usually dealers, scammers, etc. They have pretty new profiles. So we can say 2020, and that way we only get genuine sellers that their profiles are created in, like mine, 2008, right? Um, so this is basically the main filter setup that we use to get the listings. Then when the bot passes all or listing passes all the checks, we're going to send messages. Well, these messages you can we suggest you use spin syntax. If you don't know how to use spin syntax, you just write your messages. You go to ChatGPT and say, rewrite this in spin syntax, and it will blurb out. Spin syntax is basically it adds in synonyms so that every time it sends a message, it rotates like a lot of words so that every message is unique. You can also put in a name variable, the price, or the title. We set up to 3 messages. That means that if you want 3 messages to be sent, you can write 3 short messages instead of 1 long message. The benefit of that is that the user gets 3 notifications on their phone. You don't have to use all these 3. We found 3 messages is more humane, natural than a 1 long message. And then if the user doesn't reply, we can send up follow messages. So they can be like, hey, name, or like, if you prefer me to call you, drop your number, got cash, can close today. So these messages are sent uh, at an interval, which is actually set over here, follow up after minutes. So I set it here to 60 minutes. That means once I set my first initial messages, the bot loops the inbox every cycle and will look for messages that were sent longer than an hour ago, didn't get a reply, and then it will send one follow-up. And then again, if it didn't get a reply for another hour, it sends another follow-up. It does it up to 3 times, and then it the archives after sending. That is basically when it's done sending all the messages, it archives the conversation to your archive. When the seller replies, it comes back to your inbox. Okay, so this is just to keep your inbox clean. um, Owner message expiry, that means that we only send 1 message per seller. So if a seller has 2 listings, we will only send 1 message. For the first listing we message, the other one goes to the skip list. If that owner has new listings within 14 days, we will skip it. If it has a new listing after 14 days, we will message it again. Okay. Concurrent conversations, that's something that we're going to deprecate. We're going to replace that with how many messages you want the bot to send per day, so you can ramp up your account. If you have not been active on Marketplace, I do recommend you ramp up your account. So just run the bot for an hour, 2 hours, and increase it every other day until you can do full days of messaging. Again, if Facebook finds you too active, they send you a soft limit. We take those soft limits very serious. We'll stop sending for the day. And then the next day it will continue. Okay. And if the next day you try to do something, you still get a soft warning, another day. We're not gonna keep hammering the API if you got a soft limit. Then there's timeouts. The timeouts we recommend you don't touch. If you're a power user, you can obviously play with those, but that is on your own risk. So we make those available for the power users. If you don't know really what you're doing, I would not touch that, because screwing those up can get your account blocked, because now you basically start doing things way too fast in order. Our power users, what they do, they run the bottom multiple counts. So they run it for an hour, then they pause it, then they run another account. If you're gonna hammer one account all day, you are going to get banned. Um, but that has nothing to do with bot. That has to do with you don't understand how to use automation. Um, and then here we have an OpenAI ChatGPT integration, which is really cool. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Okay. So yeah, that's really it. Let's go. I will show you the inbox. So here I got, you seen that the messages I sent is basically like, hey, any history of accidents or warning lights on. Um, and then you see my messages that were sent over the last hour. So this was from here. So any warning lights on, and then, well, this is probably dealer. So some dealers, they come through, and that's why we use ChatGPT. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. Um, so no warning lights. So we got a lot of replies. So this basically is everybody that replies is going to stay in your inbox, and then you pick it up from there. But you didn't have to go through the marketplace, look for listings, qualify them, see if they're dealers, la di la di la di la. And here you see that, well, Jennifer didn't reply, and then we sent a follow-up. I actually turned the bot off a couple times so that it might not have followed up everybody. And here you see this is 85 minutes ago, so this guy was due for the next follow-up. Um, oh, this is something from yesterday that came back in my inbox. So yeah, the idea is you ask the questions with the bot that you want answered, and then by the time they reply, now you're going to go for the close, or you're going to ask their number. You can also have the bot ask their number, etc. So this is pretty much how it works. And then if we pull in ChatGPT here, I have a assistant that I programmed, and you are gonna get this template that you can adjust to your niche. So if you're flipping couches or you're flipping phones, it all works the same really. So for cars, I want to know if the seller is a dealer or if the listing is a motorbike, right? Either of these two, I want it to skip because I don't want to contact. Oh, well, this is still from the listing is a motorbike. And then I tell it to be funny, and of course, all of this you can change. I tell it if the license plate is removed or blurred, ask for the VIN number. Um, ask if there's any warning lights if it's not from the photos, and ask when you can do a test drive. And of course, you can ask for the number or whatever you want to do. And then it's basically telling what not to do. Is like, do not talk about joyriding, racing, and looking to be cool for friends. Sometimes if you don't give those instructions, it's going to send messages if they're ready for joyride, and that might not be the best sense of humor if you're asking for a test drive. Okay, so anyways, that is the prompt. Then all you got to do is you got to drop in an API key, and then you will get here. You can drop down and you can select your assistants. Okay, so this is my assistant. You can choose how many images to send to ChatGPT if you want the quality to be high or low. So I guess in terms of cars, you want them to be high. And then the most important thing is you can test this. Okay, so see, so here, nice example. We send a message. Jennifer didn't reply. Then we send a follow-up to Jennifer, and now Jennifer replied, right? So the follow-ups basically get you back to the top of the inbox, um, and really should increase your reply rate because you know that these people, they get tons and tons of messages. So when you send your first message, the follow-up feature is really powerful to circle yourself back up to the top of their inbox, and get a reply more likely. And we do up to three of those, okay? So now let's get a couple of tests. So for example, here we have a motorbike. So we open up the listing and then we click test. Now we're going to see, we're going to send this listing information to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to come back with the messages it would send, and that's going to be either a skip message. In this case, it says skip, the listing is a motorbike. So now this would prevent the bot from sending messages. Okay, we trigger ChatGPT when the listing passes all the mechanical tests, and it would send the message, and it would send the message with the spin syntax, the three messages that you hard code in the bot. Now it would review the listing, and it would have an additional skip round, or it would be able to send messages. So this one it would skip. Let's find another example. Uh, I had a couple. Oh, there's a motorbike. I obviously didn't run ChatGPT when I was doing the demo. Let's look at this one. So it says, hey Marcus, your BMW looks fantastic. Did it just come back from a spa day with all those new tints? Quick question. Are there any warning lights glowing like Christmas tree on the dashboard? Lastly, when can I swing by for test drive? I promise to bring my best driving list. Okay. So okay, so here you see it as, hey Marco, looks ready for road trip. Has it seen any warning lights? Also, I noticed the license plate is a little shy. Can you share the VIN number? So it actually looks at the images and sees it cannot read the license plate. And then when you can come by for a playlist, okay? So you can actually have ChatGPT look at the images. I must say it's not always working, but that's with ChatGPT. I hope the new models are becoming better and better. Okay, I think this one was, see, this one was a dealer. So from the listing, it's hard to tell that this one was a dealer. If we open, so here it comes true, but because it only looks for BMWs, this goes through the regular bot filter because there's only one BMW, right? But this is still a dealer, and we still send all this information to ChatGPT. So if we're gonna ask ChatGPT, it's super important that you test your ChatGPT. You gotta play with this a little bit, see if it does what you want it to do. The seller is a dealer, see? So make sure you get the right model to work on this. So this guy, we messaged him, but if we would have turned on ChatGPT, it would be skipped. Let's try this one as well. Again, this I see the license plate is playing hide and seek. Can I share the VIN number? If that's a little bit too much humor for you, of course you can play with that as well. Let's all right. So with ChatGPT, you can filter out a lot more than you can with the plain text bot and filters. So it's definitely helpful. It can look at the images, it can even look for damages. Um, but most importantly, like in this case for car dealers, car flippers, it can filter out car dealers way better than we can from the details provided on the listing. So if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's pretty easy. You get the full step-by-step video walkthrough to how to set it up. If not, I suggest you try the regular bot for a month. If you like it, you get the yearly, and I will dive on a full hour call with you to set everything up to your liking. And that also gives you the time during the month that you use the bot to make notes of the listings and the things that you want ChatGPT to filter out and improve for you. So all right, that's it for the demo. So yeah, the bot really does the manual work for you. It looks for listings, it qualifies listings, it keeps track of all the sellers and listings that it messaged to avoid sending the same seller a message for another listing between a certain time periods. That way you can optimize the messages that you're able to send per day to send messages to 50 unique sellers. And with the ChatGPT integration, you can even further improve the quality of the listings that you send by filtering out more listings and asking more targeted questions based on the listing. So you can actually have ChatGPT read the listing and ask for missing information, which will only appeal to the seller. Because if you're going to ask standard questions, some listings already provide that information, others not. If they provide the information, they're kind of annoyed from the beginning because they just have read the fucking listing, right? So yeah, the ChatGPT module is really has really improved the effectiveness of the bot. We get better replies, we get more replies, we get faster replies, and with the follow-ups, we get more replies. Okay. Um, Good luck. See you on the flip side. Don't keep doing this yourself for a couple bucks a day. Your time is worth more than that. Okay. Later.